Sarena Kennedy. I'm a mother of 2 kids. My daughter's 8, my son is 4. I am a creative type who loves to cook and garden. And right now my biggest responsibility and job, I would say, is taking care of my kids. I believe it was May when George Floyd was murdered by a police officer. During this crazy pandemic, we've all been stuck in the house, and it was a perfect storm of people wanting to get out and speak out against this injustice. I found someone who was organizing a very socially distanced, safe, masked protest, if you will, on a corner. Then that protest built, and I think people started to go in different directions on what the next step was. Then another police shooting happened. This time I got so worked up, and of course, safety in numbers, you want to go out on the corner but with a group of people and a big presence. But I had all these feelings, and I just felt on my own with this, and I had to do something. So I made myself a Black Lives Matter poster with my daughter's paints, and I went to the corner. I had a mask on, a hat on, and glasses, and I just stood there by myself. What struck me first was the silence, the quiet that I experienced on that corner. And I could hear the traffic as if it were the ocean. And so it became this interesting, peaceful meditation. And since I didn't have anybody else attached and I only had myself, I could go again and again. I didn't have to round a whole bunch of people up or anything, and just go for me. There was a sense of community that happened, I think, even on the first day, of the people that were walking by and connected to my sign and said, I had people saying, "Stay safe." I had people say, "Thank you." And then an older African-American man walked by, and he was standing on the corner waiting for the light to change. And we kind of gave each other a head nod. And then another gentleman walked by, and he didn't have a mask on, and he turned and he said, "All lives matter. All lives matter" to me. And the African-American gentleman that was standing there, he kind of looked at him, and I just stayed focused forward, and I did not address it. And then we kind of looked at each other as he walked away and shook our heads, and that was an affirmation that I actually needed to be there. I just tried to let them all pass through. And I think the last day I did it, there's a woman that was driving by, and she was a mother because she had a car seat in the back seat. And she was turning the corner, so she was in close proximity to where I was standing on the corner. And she just looked at me, and she had this face. That was her look to me, right? And what that meant to me, well, first of all, she had a lot to say. But there was something tender about her objection. And if only that will make her think twice about what her objection to a Black Lives Matter sign might be. I did what I wanted to do. When suffering becomes more difficult than change, you will change. Right now, we're in an extraordinary time of suffering. And the thought that carries me through is, what if we could get to change? What if all of this pain is us changing? I have hope for the future. I have to, because I have future in my house. My kids are the future. So wouldn't that be so tragic if I didn't?